On the streets of Taiwan, just walking a few steps, you can smell the aroma of fried radish cakes. Especially during the morning market, people crowd around smoky food stalls, just to taste a steaming hot piece of radish cake. However, this radish cake, beloved by the people of Taiwan, is not unique to Taiwan. In fact, long before Taiwan's liberation, radish cakes had already appeared in southern Fujian. Locals called it kaitu guo. Kaitu means radish, while guo refers to food made from rice flour, wheat flour, or potato starch. Later, with population migration, this once popular snack gradually spread to Taiwan. Even today, the term kaitu guo is still used, as its pronunciation carries the meaning of good luck. Thus, radish cakes have become an indispensable traditional delicacy during festivals and celebrations. This is a traditional pastry factory in Taiwan, established by immigrants from Fujian. It is said that the factory's first owner brought the skill of making radish cakes to Taiwan more than 80 years ago. First, white radishes are peeled and cleaned. The craftsmen sit together, using small knives in their hands, to quickly remove the outer skin of the radishes. The factory uses locally grown white radishes, which are not only mild in flavor, but also exceptionally juicy. After peeling, the radishes are rinsed with clean water one by one, then fed into a machine through high-speed rotating spiral blades. The radishes are shredded into fine strips, then placed in containers for later use. Alongside radish cakes, taro cakes are also made, commonly called yu guo, using taro instead of radish. They are made using the same methods, and are another traditional pastry originating from Fujian. However, processing taro is slightly more complicated than radishes. First, they must be loaded into a cleaning cage to thoroughly remove surface mud. The taros used here are betel nut taros from Taiwan, a variety similar to the famous Lipu taros from mainland China. They are starchy, soft, and flavorful. Next, the outer skin of the taro is peeled one by one. After a simple rinse, the peeled taro is fed into the machine to be shredded. Soon, pale purple taro shreds emerge from the other side of the machine. The texture and patterns of these taro shreds are strikingly similar to those inside betel nuts, which is why they are called betel nut taros. Meanwhile, a craftsman is using an electric blender to process fresh local rice soaked for several hours. The locals call this rice xylime, a type of rice with low stickiness but a strong fragrance. At this point, the craftsman opens the water outlet at the bottom of the cylinder to drain the rice water. The sparkling rice grains gradually come into view before being transferred to another machine nearby. The rice grains are sent through a pipe to the grinder below, where the hard grains are ground into powder with a constant stream of clean water. The powder is mixed into a thick, white rice slurry, which slowly flows into a container. Its color is even whiter than milk, and its texture is exceptionally smooth. Next, the craftsman pours the rice slurry into a large bucket and begins adding various fillings. At first, radish cakes were made with simplicity in mind, containing only shredded radish without any other ingredients. The proportions are carefully calculated. Too little shredded radish, and the flavor is lacking. Too much, and the water released from the radish will cause the finished cake to fall apart when picked up. The craftsman thoroughly mixes the shredded radish with the rice slurry. Fujian locals summarize the main steps of making radish cakes into 3 stages. The first stage is mixing the rice slurry with shredded radish. The mixture is then poured into steaming trays, lined with food-grade parchment paper. The rectangular trays are filled and leveled, ready for further processing. Similarly, taro cakes are made without additional ingredients. Since taro has a lower water content, its proportion can be slightly increased, making taro cakes softer and more fragrant. Simplicity can have a luxurious counterpart. The craftsman adds fresh, tender dried shrimp, crispy golden shallots, and savory minced pork cooked with dried shrimp to another batch of rice slurry. Finally, shredded radish is added, and the ingredients are mixed together. This creates the more luxurious Hong Kong-style radish cake. Next comes the steaming process for the rice slurry. The craftsmen work in pairs, carefully stacking the steaming trays together. When the stack reaches about 6 or 7 layers, they use a small crane to move the stacked trays to the steam outlet. High-pressure steam is delivered through pipes, cooking up to 20 layers of rice slurry in one go. After about half an hour, the craftsmen use the crane to carefully lower the steaming trays. As the lid is lifted, a wave of freshly steamed rice fragrance fills the air. The translucent, glistening rice cakes appear, marking the completion of the second stage of the 3-stage process. After about 4 hours, once the rice cakes have completely cooled, the craftsmen carefully lift each heavy rice cake from the steaming trays. Flip them onto a cutting board, and remove the parchment paper. Another craftsman takes over, using a wooden tool with scale markings, to cut the rice cakes into uniformly sized pieces. The grid pattern on the bottom of the steaming tray serves as a guide for cutting. In just a few swift motions, the rice cakes of various flavors are quickly sliced into identical rectangular blocks, each weighing approximately 950 grams. The blocks are then neatly placed into boxes and vacuum sealed using a machine to ensure freshness. Finally, the packaged rice cakes go through a sterilization process. The craftsmen push the boxed cakes into a steaming cabinet. Steam is released for high-temperature sterilization. After complete disinfection, the radish cakes can be stored for a month in a refrigerated environment, and for over 6 months in frozen storage, all without the need for any preservatives. At this point, the journey of a radish cake from raw material to finished product takes a total of 10 hours. Perhaps using cheap rice flour mixed with water could also produce rice slurry, or perhaps the minced pork and fried shallots don't need to be freshly made on the same day, or even made in-house. However, the essence of traditional craftsmanship lies in trading time for flavor, to let customers taste the most authentic and natural flavors. The factory has adhered to the original traditional method 4 decades without changing a single step. Next, the taro cakes will be made, another delicacy cherished by generations. Unlike radish cakes, the rice slurry for taro cakes is made from glutinous rice. It is mixed with savory minced pork, while continuously stirring and cooking punlai rice flour, which has slightly less stickiness than glutinous rice. This is the key to the soft, sticky texture of taro cakes. Then, a whole basket of shredded taro is poured into the mixer. Dried shrimp and crispy fried shallots are added and evenly blended. The filling proportion for taro cakes is much higher than that of radish cakes, giving the taro flavor a stronger presence. The mixed glutinous rice dough has excellent malleability. The craftsmen shape the dough into uniformly sized round patties, which are then steamed in a steaming cabinet. After steaming, each cake turns crystal clear and shiny. The thin glutinous rice coating makes the filling inside faintly visible. Once fully cooled, the filling's colors become more prominent. Each taro cake weighs about 50 grams, and they are packaged in sets of 6. After vacuum sealing, they are ready for sale. These finished products are not only sold directly, but also sent to the factory's snack shop, where they are freshly cooked for customers. The staff cut the radish cakes into thick, square slices, and arrange them on a sizzling griddle for pan frying. The surface of the radish cakes gradually turns a tempting golden brown, and the air is filled with a mouth-watering aroma. When both sides are crispy and golden, the cakes are ready to be served. This frying process marks the final stage of the 3-step process. Once complete, they are ready to enjoy. The staff crack an egg into a bowl of chopped green onions, whisk it together, and pour it onto the griddle to cook. They then place the fried radish cakes on top of the egg. This is Taiwan's beloved green onion and egg radish cake. Sliced taro cakes fry up even more thoroughly, becoming both crispy and fragrant. A portion of radish cake is sold for $1, while adding an egg brings the price to $5. The radish cake is soft and aromatic, with every bite capturing the sweet essence of radish. The green onion egg is tender and smooth. Dip it in a sauce made from soy sauce, garlic, and red chili, and it's irresistibly delicious. A portion of taro cake costs $5. Its crispy exterior and soft, sticky interior burst with the rich flavor of taro in every bite. Like, follow, and enjoy the journey. Thank you for watching. See you next time.